Hey everybody, my name is Ceda C. Welcome back to Acid Switch, and I'm just going to be back like I never left and act like I haven't taken a super long hiatus from the channel. No, I mean I've still been doing my thing every now and then. I haven't done a full length podcast in a while. Tonight I was actually going to be streaming, um, watching a video that would be, I guess, considered controversial. I won't say too much more about exactly what it was in case it gets re-uploaded and I can do that, but it'd be interesting. It was breaking down a person, a person's life, and I guess what they've done, and some things that I guess a lot of people haven't really connected a lot of the dots about this person before before they reached the level of fame that they were at. But really exciting. I was really excited too. It was a long video, and I was going to sit here and stream the whole thing, but they ended up taking it down. So I'll just have to wait and see if I can do that later. But welcome back to Acid Switch. Like I said, make sure to subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you missed about the channel that I haven't done in a while, or if you want me to do more podcasts, let me know. I hope you like this one. I don't really have too much crazy lined up. You know me. I keep it pretty lighthearted, kind of random. So just take a seat or stand up and work out or do some jumping jacks, whatever you feel like doing. You can put on some music if you want. I tend to put on my own background music here in a bit. I know the sound is dead right now, but the first thing I was going to talk about was, like, I think since I did my last full length podcast, I dropped my newest album, Primeval. So that's available right now on YouTube and SoundCloud for free. And I'll be uploading it to all platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, most likely in May. I'm considering it. That way, everybody else will be able to listen to it on their preferred platforms. But I'll play a little bit of it right now. So this is the first song from it.
Alone, our hero has made it.
It's called Freak Out. This is probably my favorite one too. The whole album's produced by Rob on the beats. You can listen to it, like I said, on my other YouTube channel.
Can he make it back?
Nowadays my haters sick, I seen they all pale. My circle's small, but it's realer than your tall tales. Got family with me in here, so we all here. Got gang in here with me, and they
You can follow me on SoundCloud as well.
Only 17 and bitch, I got sales. Now the bread is getting old and never got stale. Throw a little money, make a freak out. Damn, throw a little cash, you gotta freaking out. Got gang in here with me, keep that thing in here with me. They got played on last, but we take a dab of OG. Like a green screen right behind me, could be anywhere I please. Need the peace, why it seem like such a tease, Lord please. I need a rhyme on the beat, in the stew like needed not. Yeah, all of the heat, some of y'all finna hate. Most of y'all like why they hate me, and man by the block and kick 'em off of my street. I smacked the beat like it was coughing in a pandemic. Money in the pot, why I had to get my hands in it. That's 100, never fold, be a man better. I tossed that pack, used to pull up my mama then with it. Got a bag, had to get another bag with it. Contracts higher than a couple stacks different. I just really need a piece, so I keep with peace. Smiling in my face, but he really mad. Nowadays my haters sick, I seen they all pale. My circle's small, but it's realer than your tall tales. Got family with me in here, so we all.
All right. Well, yeah, go listen to the rest of the album on YouTube, SoundCloud. Like I said, hopefully soon it'll be available other places, but I'm just taking my time with that one, just letting that marinate. Yeah, I do have auto-tune on my voice now. I didn't have that on at the beginning. And the background music is back too. So feel free to check that out, and I'd really appreciate that. I appreciate all y'all's support. But to continue on, one of my favorite guests to have on this channel, as y'all know, is my chinchilla, Chilla. Y'all joined me about a year ago when I introduced him to y'all and told you about how long I've had him. And if you've been keeping up, you might be aware that he's actually about to turn 10 years old. 10 years old in less than a month from right now. So I'm thinking I might have to hold some kind of party for him. I might have to, I don't know, think of a way to make it special. At least do like maybe a little stream or some kind of video, or vlog or something with him. But that's exciting. 10 years old. Like, I know a lot of people that have kids that aren't even 10 years old, and I'm just like, yeah, I've had this chinchilla forever, man. I should have him here right now while I'm talking about this, but some of my more recent videos of on this channel with him were dressing him up in clothes that are meant for small dogs. So I'm gonna be doing another one of those soon. The chinchilla fashion show, as we tend to call it. But if you support the Chilla, if you've met the Chilla, if you love the Chilla, or if you want to meet the Chilla, let me know in the comments, or just comment happy birthday Chilla. I guess it's not his birthday yet, so you can do that. You don't have to do that. I guess don't do that yet. But you'll have an opportunity to do that soon, I guess. It's just a warning that his birthday is coming up. It was just kind of on my mind, and I really can't believe that. I'm like, man, I just remember, I'm like, wow, it's like less than a month until his birthday. That is really crazy, though. That's my little guy. All right, he hasn't really aged much as far as his looks. He looks about the same as when I got him. He grew a bit, but now that he's getting older, I think he's shrunk a tiny bit. But yeah, he still looks good. He's a good chinchilla. He's really nice. I can scratch his belly, and he just kind of sits there. It reminds me. I don't know what he's thinking, but I can tell he's gonna be a genius. That animated clip. I don't know if y'all seen that. It's like a TikTok or something. But he's like, my baby is a genius. He can't talk or nothing, but I can just tell. But that's parallels to that. Speaking of birthdays, I guess anniversaries, though, I heard that The Sandlot just turned 30, and that made me feel old, I guess. I think it came out, well, yeah, I think it did come out before I was born. I'm not 30 yet, but I just find that fascinating, because it's a movie that when you watch it as a kid, you're like, man, this all seems like kind of fun, or this seems like doing these things would be fun, and then you look back on it, and it's like, yep, typical coming of age story. We've all kind of done this. It's just it's wild how we all kind of deal with a lot of those same similar things to what happened in that movie. I don't know though. Maybe not as much these days, but I used to play outside a lot, play ball a lot. But The Sandlot, man, what was his name? Smalls, Killing Me Smalls, moves to a new neighborhood. Had a new stepdad. And was really awkward with him. Didn't really know how to make friends. I don't know if they ever showed them in school. I think it was summer. That's why. Duh. Yeah. So school hadn't even started. So he hadn't not met anybody in that new neighborhood yet, probably. And he goes to the park. The kids invite him to play ball. They can tell very quickly that he does not know how to play ball. Baseball, that is. Not basketball. And so he still tries to fit in. Benny Rodriguez, I think was his name, was the best player out of the group. My favorite out of all of them was probably Squids, the kid with the big old nerdy glasses. Big old, I guess not nerdy. Well, yeah, I guess they're nerdy style glasses. The kid wasn't really a nerd. I don't think though. He built that thing. I guess they were trying to make it seem like he was a bit geeky because he built that machine to. Well, that's later on in the story, but. He's probably my favorite character. This little kid named Squids or something like that. Squids Polidores. But anyway, yeah, this group of kids, they invite Smalls to play ball with them, teach him the ropes of just being a normal human child, because he just, I guess, came from space, or he's like an alien. No, not really, in case you haven't seen the movie. But anyway, these guys are playing baseball. They hit their last ball over the fence, and Smalls remembers that his stepdad has a ball in his office, so he goes and gets it, and then they whack that ball over the fence, or no, they whack the guts out of the first ball, so whoever hits it whacks it, the ball flies apart, they have no more ball. Smalls gets that ball from his stepdad's office, and they hit it over the fence into this yard that has this monster demon dog that they all know about. It's just no one goes in that yard. No one really ever sees the monster dog. They call it the Beast, and the person that owns it is very mean, I guess, and does not let people in their yard. There's all kinds of rumors and scary stories about it. eating children that try to get their baseball back and whatnot. It's just like in the back of the outfield of this baseball field. So you would think that, like, I don't know, people would kind of be used to asking a lot of those neighbors to get their ball back, but they make it seem like these kids are the only kids that play on this sandlot ever. And that is how it feels when you're a kid. When you're at a place when you're a kid, you kind of feel like you're the only one there, like it's your place. I wonder why that is. It's just like, I guess, lack of self-awareness. You're not really as considerate of like how many people are out there and how many people are doing things. But yeah, they only had like that one rival team come at some point. A rival baseball team that's on like an actual little league team comes and plays them in baseball, and there's a whole thing where someone tells another kid that they play ball like a girl, and it's a huge deal, which is pretty mean, honestly, because there are definitely plenty of girls that could whoop any of them that are even younger than them, I guess. But that's not the point. It's a funny part of the movie regardless. But yeah, they got to figure out how to get this ball back from this monster demon dog's yard, because come to find out, the ball was signed by Babe Ruth, and that's why it was in Smalls' stepdad's office. So, and they find that Smalls doesn't know anything about baseball. He didn't know that. He should have recognized that the ball was sitting in a trophy case and might be important. It's just stupid that he didn't. But they're like, oh, it was signed. He said it was signed by some lady named Ruth, Baby Ruth, and everyone's like, Babe Ruth. And then at the beginning, one of them made a reference to the Great Bambino. And he was like, oh, the Great Bambino. And he had no idea who that was. And then, like, late at this point, they're like, Babe Ruth, the Great Bambino. And he's like, you mean it's the same guy? And you mean it's the same guy? Like, yelling it like that is, like, one of my favorite things to do for no reason. I'll just be in my house, and anytime I can, I'll just be like, you mean it's the same guy? Whenever my wife's just, like, doing something random or whatever. I don't know. It's a funny movie. But anyway, yeah, they go on adventures together in the midst of not being able to get the ball back, and they're trying and failing and trying to make these contraptions to get the ball back over. Squid builds a little robot that's supposed to be like a catapult that flings it over, and the dog just completely wrecks it and, like, I think throws it back over. And yeah, they have a tough time getting that ball back. I'm not going to spoil the story, though. You should go watch The Sandlot. It just turned 30. It's a great movie. I might even watch it later. I still haven't watched it this year yet. I've seen it plenty of times, but since it's turned 30, I have not watched it yet. But I think that would be a really good time. Man, speaking of, yeah, I guess I'm kind of on a movie tangent today. That's funny, yeah. I also watched The Emperor's New Groove recently, which is one of my favorite movies. One of my top favorite movies, I would say. It'd be like Emperor's New Groove, Lilo and Stitch. Oh, Shrek, probably, yeah. Those are like, yeah, probably my top 3 maybe. There's some other good ones though. I'd have to think about that. I probably have more of like a top 10. If I had to think about it more, I don't know if those would be my top 3, but they're in my top bracket or whatever, a handful. Emperor's New Groove was great though. I watched that recently after not seeing it for many years. Cusco the Emperor, he gets turned into a llama in the midst of an assassination attempt, and then he has to befriend a peasant named Pacha and basically try to get his way back to the palace and turn human. While, I mean, he's just a talking llama, so no one knows really like what. He's a talking llama with a peasant trying to infiltrate the palace, while the people that took his throne are making sure that everyone thinks that he is gone, like passed. It's a wild movie, a wild ride. It's really funny. I was like 4 years old when that came out. It was amazing. I bring that movie up because I think it would be great if they made a live action version of that movie. Since they're doing all these live action versions of movies, Emperor's New Groove would be a really funny one if they did it right. It's one that you could easily ruin, but great characters. Krunk is hilarious. Yzma is hilarious. I'm pretty sure the lady that voiced Yzma is still alive. And that would just be great. They would probably throw David Spade in the movie just to make a cameo, and that would just be chef's kiss. That'd be perfect. But speaking of live action movies, moving on to the next one to discuss today, I also watched recently the original Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch, like I said, is one of my top favorite movies. Excellent. The first one is about an evil scientist making a very destructive weapon of a creature known as Experiment 626. And 626 is really smart, really angry, very powerful and strong, and also very cute. Looks like a koala. When they're at like the intergalactic federation thing at the beginning, I like how all the other little aliens, some of them look like little alien or little animals that you'd see on Earth, and it kind of gives the vibe of like this like kind of like seeding kind of process. Like maybe some animals here on Earth are just like descendants of an alien. Like what if like everything on Earth was naturally evolving and occurring, but just like elephants for some reason were like, you know, descendant of an alien or octopus or whatever it might be. That'd be interesting. But they have little aliens at the beginning of the movie that also look like other creatures. Stitch kind of looks like a koala in my opinion. I think they say that in one point in the movie. But he escapes to Earth. He steals a giant ship and escapes to Earth from this galactic federation, and Lilo adopts him from a dog shelter because that's where he ends up somehow. Basically, it's a story of the belief of good within something that is supposedly bad, and how good somebody good can definitely, or somebody who might consider themselves or be considered bad can definitely still be rehabilitated and be good. It's kind of heartwarming in that way. You know, some of us feel like we are like unfixable in certain ways, or like life affects us in certain ways and we can't change, but you definitely can change for the positive if you have it in you, and that's what Stitch is all about. The characters are also great in that movie. I'm very, very intrigued to see the live action version of it though, because if they really are making that, which it seems like they are, they casted Lilo. I want to know what their live action Stitch will look like. I want to know if he's going to look like just a dog, or if it'll be some crazy trippy monster. Because I think, let me try to find it here, because there was like a crazy real version of Stitch that I saw, and I want to try to show y'all. Yeah, it's probably this one. Here, let me get a better view of it. Oh yeah, it's terrifying. Like, what is that? Yeah, like some of these. Oh, hold on. Yeah, like that. Like, is it gonna look like that, and then just like, I don't know, shapeshift into a dog, or is that just what he's gonna look like the whole time? Because there's no way. And I could understand if it ended up looking just like the Detective Pikachu or whatever, just like a CGI Stitch. But I don't know if that would be palatable. Some of these other ones on here look very strange. There's like a giant trippy monster that like Lilo's riding like an ancient giant wolf. It's yeah, some of these are weird. But no, I'm intrigued. What if they ruin it though, and it's just like a dog painted, like not painted, but a dog they color blue, and then it's just like he shapeshifts into an alien, or they just like, because you know the whole thing is like it's Lilo's dog, so I can see them just coming up with something stupid like it just shapeshifts into a dog, and that's just how they lazily solve the problem. Is like it's just a dog, but it's a weird color. But that was my main thought about the live action Lilo and Stitch. I'm interested to see what like all the other alien characters will look like. I know most of y'all are wondering what that the lifeguard is gonna look like, because y'all be attracted to cartoons like some weirdos. You're just like waiting for that. But I guess in this case it wouldn't be a cartoon, so you know, have at it. Well, man, what else? I don't know what I had next. I was just gonna talk about Lilo and Stitch there for a bit. Oh yeah, yeah, and I did mention Shrek earlier. Yeah, they are making another Shrek movie. I hear there's gonna be a Shrek 5. I can't really remember Shrek 4, but yeah, Shrek 1 and 2 are probably a couple of my favorite movies ever. Shrek the third was pretty good. Yeah, I can't remember Shrek 4 too much, but Shrek 5 should be interesting. I'm excited for that. I'm not gonna sit here and explain Shrek. Y'all know about Shrek. That's way too much to explain. Uh, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But oh man, yeah, just movies. I don't even watch movies like that either. It's kind of funny. I was just like, oh, let me watch Lilo and Stitch, and then I watched all the Lilo and Stitch movies too. Is what's funny. I watched the first Lilo and Stitch. It was talking about like my thoughts on if they made a live action one, and then I watched the rest of them, and then like I swear 3 days later, probably because of ads and whatever, the internet spying on me, I see ads and stuff telling me that they casted a live action Lilo, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. That's so wild. I just watched those, but pretty excited for that. Definitely going to be keeping an eye out for what that Stitch looks like, though. I hope it doesn't look like that weird goblin creature I just pulled up. But if it does, then maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll still work. It's so strange if it's gonna look like a scary monster, because it's, I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be realistic in a way. But maybe it'll just be more of an emphasis on like what Lilo's got going on, and I don't know, Stitch will be kind of just in hiding and on the run from Jumba and Pleakley off to the side in their own little like crazy stuff. Maybe Lilo won't even be aware, because I think that was the thing, was Lilo didn't even realize Jumba and Pleakley were after him until like her house got blown up and all that. I think that was more of when she figured out what all was going on, and that he was an alien, obviously. But anyway, we'll move on. I'm not trying to talk about Lilo and Stitch in these movies for too long. I'm just kind of rambling about these movies, but all these movies are good. I definitely should watch these movies more. I mean, I don't know about like more often, but I should watch The Sandlot anyway. I need to pay some respect to the great Bambino. Nah, I'm just playing. Oh man. Anyway, in more unfortunate news, let me get it here. Unfortunately, a zoo not that far away from me, and I've actually been to the zoo, had to announce that one of their rhinos passed away. I found out about this, I think, the day after it happened, and I was devastated by the news. I had a lot of negative thoughts by it, but basically a Nebraska zoo says its team had to say goodbye to one of its beloved rhinos this week. The Omaha Henry Durley Zoo and Aquarium had a 15-year-old rhino named Jontu, and it died following complications with an illness. Said he had to be euthanized after his condition deteriorated over weeks of veterinary care for a gastrointestinal illness. During his care, he was diagnosed with an inoperable partial intestinal obstruction. So that's really sad. He had something stuck going on in there. Been with the zoo since 2011. So that's like most of its life. It would have been like, well, I can't do math. It would have been like 12, or it would have been there for 12 years then. So 12 out of 15 years. Yeah. That's wild, man. Yeah, I was really sad when I heard about it. I had like so many negative thoughts about it. I was thinking like, man, I hope that it wasn't feeling alone. Obviously, there are going to be like humans probably obviously they're taking care of it, but like being around it. I don't know if they're like surrounding it or how much space they're giving it, because it's a rhino. But that's just sad. It's an animal that should be in a large habitat or in the wild, maybe in Asia or Africa. I think this one came from like Asia, maybe, I can't remember. But yeah, I just thought like, oh, that's sad. It's in Nebraska of all places. It's like winter, basically, almost spring. Just hoping that it didn't feel alone, feel super frightened by its surrounding, and just like maybe that I don't know if it had hopes of getting back home someday, but just like if it had that just like dream and just like wish to be where it felt like it was. And I hope it just didn't feel like it was somewhere where it shouldn't be at that moment, and that it had like other rhinos. At least I know I looked into it, and it definitely wasn't, it didn't live alone. There were other rhinos that it got to live with. So that's good, at least that it had like hopefully, I don't know how their brains work, but it hopefully got to remember the other rhinos that it lived with and got to think about them and what they're doing, and just that it had other rhinos maybe wondering like, where's John 2, where are you? And I looked into it too. It's a 15-year-old rhino, and they know in the wild, I guess they can live to be like 50 or like 30 to 50 or something like that. Pretty old, a lot longer than 15 years. But I don't know how living in captivity affects that typically. But that also made me really sad to think about. But I just like, when I heard about this, I just wasn't ready. It was so random when I heard about it. I was just like scrolling and saw that, and I just like couldn't handle it. Just like had to just like think about it for a while and just like look into it a little bit. But I hope they're taking good care of their rhinos and animals. I've been to that zoo. I like that zoo and all, but I'm not a huge fan of that kind of stuff as I get older. But yeah, it has John 2's legacy will live on through his son named Marshall and a daughter named Juna, who currently lives at the Denver Zoo. So that's nice. You could go say hi to them, like, hey man, sorry about your dad. No, for real though, that's like really sad. A lot of rhinos are endangered too, so I thought about that at the same time. But I just was not ready for that information. When I heard about that, it just devastated me. I hope that they can just leave the wild rhinos alone though, and just take good care of these captive bred ones. They can't really be released into the wild, but man, it just sucks that like certain animals, certain people can only learn so much about animals by seeing them in a zoo. But like, I don't know. I guess. What time is it? I started this podcast super early in the morning, so it's like, it's getting late, and my brain function is starting to cease a little bit, but we're gonna finish strong. Oh man. But yeah, freaking Tanner Cook, the YouTube prankster, got shot. That's crazy to hear. I be watching YouTube pranksters a lot. I was just watching the Biggest Menace competition between Gideon and Nico. Jesus. And yeah, they're both really hilarious YouTube pranksters. They're doing like a prank off between them, where one of them like picks a prank that the other one has to do. So Gideon chose for Nico to put a ball on the course of the PGA Tour, and it was a remote control ball, and he had to like get it on a very crowded hole, or like green, and control it into the hole. And that one was funny. I won't tell you what happened. I think the next one was Nico wanted Gideon to copy a prank that he had done by putting a picture in the museum, like kind of near the Mona Lisa, and that was pretty funny. That's insane. It was insanely difficult to just get a picture, like a framed picture, into the museum, because they're going to be weary of where you're going to put it or what you're going to do with that. So they had to figure some other things out. Another one that they did more recently was let me see here. Yeah, I can't even remember all of them, but another one Nico did was set up it was like a talk show, like a talk show type of thing, and he had Gideon act like he renounced his blackness, like he identified as white in front of a crowd, and was like adopted by white people. He had to act like that and just kind of go along with it and try to get these people to hate him. But I don't know if they really did or not. You'll have to watch that video though to check it out. But yeah, Tanner Cook another YouTube prankster. He's collabed with Gideon before, but he does a lot more like intrusive pranks, where the style of pranks that I enjoy are where, let's just say, Balin Levine, I like it when they go into a store and hook up their Bluetooth to a speaker and just start like playing random loud noises on Bluetooth speakers in like Target and Walmart. That stuff's hilarious, and it makes me want to do it. Stuff like that makes me want to do it low key. When they just like run around like screaming Kenobi like in the middle of a store. How does that not seem fun? I just don't know. I mean, I guess it seems kind of annoying, but I don't really plan on doing it. But who knows? Maybe you'll see me do it. I can't say I won't. But yeah, I don't really like intrusive pranks. Tanner Cook's pranks are a lot more the, oh, I don't know, you walk up to a group of people who are speaking to each other and just go like, "What? Hey, y'all need to watch your tone. Can you watch your tone?" Like, I guess it won't really be like aggressively, but, or he'll maybe just go into a mattress store and just like, I don't know, sleep on it and then just like not leave. But that's not really that intrusive, I guess. But I don't know. I find his to be a little bit more intrusive and more like in people's faces. No, one that I remember that he did that I was surprised didn't get him hurt was like, just he would walk up to someone and start speaking to them, and then like they would like, basically he'd make dialogue with somebody and just keep walking closer to them as they're like replying to what he said, and they would be like, "Oh, back up from you, that's weird, like what are you doing?" And then he'd just be like, "What? Oh, what do you mean?" And like still be like just getting like closer and closer. And I would play that clip right now, but I just really don't feel like pulling up any clips in the moment. But it's just, I just don't get why you'd want to do that. I mean, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure he's getting, you know, what he needs to out of these videos. I'm sure it's a lot of fun for him. I'm sure he's at a point where he's making money from it, but I don't even know if he has like that many subscribers yet. I know he has connections, I'm sure, to get to a point where he could just keep doing it and make a living. But it's like, if you've already been shot, and I wonder how many subscribers he does have, honestly. Let me see. I'm just gonna, his channel's called Classified Goons, I think. Is that what it is? Sorry, I type really slow. Classified Goons, YouTube. So right now he's got 50K subscribers, which, like, yeah, that's pretty good. When I subscribed to his channel, I was like making sure, I'm like, am I subscribed? Yeah. No, when I subscribed to the channel, it was like 10K, and that was like a month or two ago. So, you know, it's just like, let me see, did his views go up? Not too much. I mean, the prank he posted before that this incident has about 200K views, and then the most recent video has 50K views, which is actually less than most of the other ones I'm seeing. So that's kind of interesting. You would think that his views at least would go up after getting shot by somebody. He got shot. I didn't even say he got shot while pranking somebody, apparently. I don't think the video is out anywhere, but there was video of the aftermath of the shooting, and then I think him talking about it in a hospital bed and talking about how he's going to continue making videos. I heard Charlie White talking about, and yeah, that's kind of wild to me. But I wonder what the prank exactly was. I see the most recent video is asking strangers to watch their tone, which I watched like a couple minutes of that, and it was annoying. I mean, it wasn't that funny. It was just like him walking up to groups of people like, "Excuse me, can you watch your tone though? Can you watch your tone? Like, can you watch your tone?" And they would just be like, "What do you mean?" He just like kind of repeat it, you know, and like, I mean, I get why some of them are getting mad. It's like, and it's funny that some of them are getting mad at that. It's pretty stupid. You know, but at the same time, it's just like, what? Like, I don't know. I just find it a little bit lazy. Like one of them I see here that looks like it'd be kind of funny is fake vomiting on Uber drivers. But that is like, you will get people so mad at you for doing that. But that at least is like, there's like an element of, I don't know, they're kind of like stuck to the Uber drivers. They might want to kick you out, but they're also going to be somewhat emotionally obligated to like help you if they really think you're about to puke in their car. So I don't know. It evokes a lot of different responses, where certain pranks that I'm seeing here on this channel are like just meant to make people angry. I really the video he posted before, the most recent one, the asking strangers to watch their tone prank. The one he posted before that one I see here is a fake Target thug employee prank. So he basically walks into Target wearing a Target looking uniform, and pretends to work there while also acting like a complete idiot. Probably, I think that's the one where he pulls out a cigarette and he keeps trying to get people to light his cigarette. And that's really, really funny. And it's not just in a bunch of people's faces. It's more just like, why are you here? Like, you need to get out. I really do enjoy pranks that get the prankster kicked out of the store. But yeah, I don't really like it where it's just like going up to random people and like annoying them until they like yell at you to go away, and then you don't go away, and then it's kind of just more about them being angry, but you're just pressing them to the point that it's like, I don't know, like you should just probably leave them alone. The joke's kind of over. Man, there was a new Cartnarks video like that I saw where, I mean, if y'all are familiar with Cartnarks, it's a YouTuber, streamer, or whatever that walks around parking lots, and he basically fake tickets people that don't put their shopping cart away because the cart could roll into somebody's car or vehicle and damage it, obviously. I always put my cart away. If you don't, you're kind of a piece of shit. But that's besides the point. This guy will like repetitively just stick magnets on people's car, and they will get so mad and pull the magnet off and like try to like throw it at him and be like, go away, stop touching my car. But it always becomes this loop, because he's just standing like, nope, put your cart away. If you don't put your cart away, I'm gonna put another magnet reminder on your car. And it's like a reminder that calls them like a whatever his terminology for someone who doesn't put their cart away is, and the Cartnark information on it probably. And they will just get so mad at him putting the magnet on their car, instead of just like letting him put the magnet on their car and just driving off and just worrying about it when you get home. Like, why would you're gonna like, someone's gonna put a magnet on your car, and I get it, the first time maybe you just want to see what it is, so like you look at it, take it off, throw it at him, tell him to frick off and get out of here. So you see that he's doing it again, just get in your car then and leave, because he's just trying to get you to like feel bad and put your cart away, which you should put your cart away. But if you didn't put your cart away, then just leave. I mean, he can't keep you from leaving. That would be kidnapping. That's literally a type of kidnapping, to like withhold somebody in a place that they're not trying to be against their will. So, I mean, yeah, like you could, and it's harassment too to some degree, but that's just wild. It's like they're not going to keep you there. So just either put the cart away or it's not even a ticket. It's just take the magnet sticker thing and just leave. Otherwise you're going to get put on YouTube and be an angry Karen on YouTube and all that, which, I mean, that's just like one thing that's crazy right now is people are going to be remembered for things that they're doing when they're angry for the rest of their lives at this point. Like we're getting to the point that it's just so easy to get caught freaking the hell out on video, and that's just like, you're that person the rest of your life. I've been thinking about this a lot the last couple of weeks since I saw that kid who was talking to his teacher, and I really should pull this clip up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's like a kid talking to his teacher. Yeah, here it is.
Getting out of hands these days.
I've had enough of this.
Sorry, let me pull up the video.
Punishment stuff is going to stop.
You're not gonna tell me what I'm gonna do and not do.
I am now the alpha.
That's not how this works.
Like he's talking to his teacher.
The alpha takes priority over
And like
the teacher.
it's funny and
The
all.
alpha takes
Like
priority over
it's
anyone.
funny.
Do you not know
The teacher is telling the alpha to sit in this seat,
Like
right?
I get why it's viral. Trust me, I've shared it with people, but it's just funny to think like this kid will be remembered for this for the rest of his life.
Consequences that follow,
This will be this
are gonna
kid's
still
like
follow the alpha.
just everybody that meets him, that knows him,
Let's see how
will
well
know
that
him
works
for
out,
this.
Okay?
Getting out of hands these
Probably.
days.
Maybe not, but probably. I just find that fascinating. But that one in particular just gets me because, like, that, you know, kids in school definitely don't think about that. And like, yeah, there are kids doing things on video now that, I mean, that will be what they're remembered for, like, by a lot of people for quite a while. It's just really fascinating. Well, yeah, I think that's most of my main topics. Let me go ahead and show you guys what I've been up to, though, for my visual people, just kind of following along, watching and listening. If you're an audio listener, come back later and check out these flower pots that my wife and I painted. I'm going to probably post these as a separate video, too, just to kind of break down more what's going on. But, oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, here's the process. Basically just got some simple flower pots from the store. If you've been following along with like my stories and some of my other videos, we got more plants at my house. So decided to paint some pots, get some pots looking cool. I have some really cool, the light's off right now, but in this corner, sometimes in my other videos, you can see a lights on over here. And I have plants in the corner. I know I showed them to y'all in the microgreens video. So if you want a better look at those, go check out the how to grow microgreens, the more recent one to this video, where you can see some of my other plants in the corner. But she did a killer job with the drawing on this pot. I just took some spray paint and kind of spray painted the bottom, let it drip down, and then she kind of drew on it. So that particular one was for a fern type of plant that I have. I thought it was gonna die, but I actually do still have it over here. So I think it'll be all right. I want it to start growing big though, so I can put some pieces of it in terrariums. The one that she's painting, I don't even know if she's potted anything in it yet, but I know she definitely did a pretty good job on this, the painting job on it, as y'all will see shortly. But yeah, the fern-like plant got to go in the one that she drew on with Sharpie that I spray painted. Then this pot, I kind of took a break from the first one that she's painting to show y'all this. I put a decal, Ceda C decal on this pot, and let some paint drip down in it and peeled off the decal. And then you can kind of like read it. So it didn't turn out as good as I wanted it to. I tried to use watercolor paint on it at first, but it was still pretty cool. That one I ended up potting. I said it like Hank Hill. That one I ended up putting my palm plant in it. I recently got a tiny palm tree plant. So that one was starting to not do so good, but then I got it repotted and I've been watering it and keeping a good eye on it, and I think it's been doing pretty good. The leaves are starting to turn nice and healthy green again. They were starting to kind of yellow, and it had lost a few leaves too, but now it's nicer out, so I can put it in like the warmer parts of the house. I think it'll like that better too, because right now it's down here. It was in my corner over here, but now it's on my plant shelf, my microgreen shelf. And then this is the pot that my wife had been working on. She ended up going with the day and night theme, which I thought was really sick. And sun and moon, stars. It fades into the day and the night. Nice accent clouds and everything in the sky too, above some water, a water feature. But yeah, that turned out super nice. And yeah, I can't remember. I don't think she's potted anything in it, honestly. But yeah, that turned out really cool. She did a good job, and she's really good at drawing flowers like that. While I have you on this screen over here, take a look. I'm gonna show you the tattoo that I did on myself recently. I did a couple on myself. I did a tiny little flower on my leg just to practice, and then once I realized that that would suffice for a practice tattoo, and that my lines wouldn't be all super blown out, and I might be getting the knack of it, at least for this session, I went ahead and continued with one on my own torso. Right underneath my chest. I guess part of it's probably on my chest. I went with a skull of like a side, I guess, a conjoined twin. So it's like a skull that's like two skulls kind of melted into one. So I'll show you that now. Here you can see me putting on the stencil. I started from the bottom up so I could just kind of wipe down and keep working my way up, and nothing would drip down onto the stencil. Nothing's worse than losing a stencil, man. I've done tattoos where I wipe it and half the stencil's gone. I'm just like, oh my god, this is bad. And now I'm really pleased with how this one turned out though. Basically all line work, but I went ahead and filled in like the eye sockets in a way that there's dimension to it. You can definitely tell that I'm not a professional when you see the complete piece. And I mean, if you can see my technique here, you can probably already tell. But no, I mean, I've done a handful on myself, done a handful and whatnot, and you know, some of them turn out good, some of them turn out kind of bad, but this one turned out good. I'll show you how it looks healed. Sorry, the camera's at a really awkward height for that, so that was probably hella cringy and weird, and I'm sorry about that. No, I'm just playing. But no, the tattoo turned out decent. I'm thinking about doing more, but I don't know. It's more, that was more just like, I guess, have a newer one and not spend money, because I'm not trying to like spend money. But no, I need to get my sleeves finished. I need to definitely get my sleeves finished and start working on like the rest of my torso. But I hope y'all like that, and I hope it turned out pretty decent in your mind. It looks pretty decent healed, honestly. But that is about it for today. One thing I did want to mention that I've noticed lately is a lot of high schools or just schools are taking donations for feminine hygiene products. Really, I'm sure a lot of places are. Since, I mean, women have to like pay money for those. And I, as a person who does not use them, I didn't know how expensive they were. And when you start thinking about how like teenagers don't have money, but teenagers need stuff like that, a lot of teenagers are not comfortable talking with adults about things like that. So they kind of rely on their friends. They're more experienced, they're more like resourceful friends to access certain things for them, but we should really be trying to help them out. So whether you're you know, just a female, a male who uses them, because there are like trans males that still use those products, like if you're a they them and you don't identify as either, I guess I'm talking about you and what you need, and we definitely are trying to figure out ways that we can get more people aware of that, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to kind of talk to my friends about that more. Just like, I don't know. Like, I know of ways that I can kind of like donate them to my local high school that's nearby my house easily. And it's just something to consider. I'm probably explaining it in a way that's super awkward, and I'm just kind of rambling at this point, trying to make sense of my own words. But yeah, it's a topic I'm not used to talking about. So I guess that's probably just why But no, it's important that we consider ways to get better access to those things for certain people that might not have access to them, like homeless people that might need those, you know. So just go to a store, buy a box of tampons, go to Salvation Army and just see if they want them. See if they want a box of pads. Go, you know, call a school, see like when or where you could take a box of maxi pads, tampons, panty liners, whatever you call them or whatever they are. I am not familiar with that at all, but I'm going to try my best to do the same. And that was my random piece of advice awkwardly explained for the evening. I'm probably going to be ending the video soon, but I think I'm going to go ahead and break down the new Ray Shremmerd album here maybe in a bit or maybe tomorrow. They just dropped that new album, so I think it's Shrem Life 4. So I kind of want to check it out. I like Ray Shremmerd. I haven't listened to most of their albums, but their early stuff was pretty lit, and I'm like, man, I haven't heard of them. I haven't heard from them in a while. So one of the songs I heard was really good too. It had a very real message to it, I feel. So I like the way that they make music. I like the Eardrummer's production style. The beats are very kind of like Willy. They remind me of like Willy Wonka or something like that. Like the way that the beats are crazy. And those two are really goofy. They have interesting lyrics. They like to party a lot and they say some really funny things. But overall, they make good music. Slim Jimmy can rap. He can spit. And Sway Lee can spit too. He can sing his ass off. And like I do a lot of the falsetto, kind of like listen, you like swing, like type of stuff in my music. Not as prominently, but he kind of inspires that. I like Sway Lee. He's a dope artist. So I'd work with either of them. I might check out that album and share my thoughts on each song, kind of as an album breakdown. But we'll see if I end up doing that on here, if I just end up streaming that live or whatever. But I am very tired and I'm going to call it a night. It's like 5 in the morning. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I will hopefully have the energy to do more in the near future and think of slightly more interesting topics. I really want to get some guests, but it's hard to get people to call into the podcast because they want to be here in person. And then the people that I invite here in person, all of them have done a great job out of coming here in person. It's mainly been, John from Iowa, Swavey, and Ethan. And they've all done a good job, but it's like I want them to come back more often. And then I want a few other people to come in and do podcasts with me. But I've got a new series coming soon where I'll be kind of out in other places, and hopefully that'll be easier for me to get co-hosts to link up with me, because it'll be kind of a unique aspect to it. We'll be able to make a cool production out of it. But yeah, that'll be in the near future. I really hope that I can get that put together soon, because the way it's looking in my head, it's gonna be great. I was gonna start shooting it in the morning, but right now it is morning, and I was just like already up kind of late, and I was like, you know what? Instead of doing that stream, I'm just gonna do a podcast and then just plan out my next one basically after I get this one done, because it has been a while. I like doing these. I like kind of rambling about things because I don't really do that too often. I haven't seen a lot of y'all in a really long time. So anyway, I'll probably let y'all get back to it, but I was just giving y'all a little daily dose of Ceda C in the studio not making music, which I probably should be. Maybe I'll do a little bit of that before I go to bed. But until next time, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like this video. Comment some topics for me to talk about next time. Comment some of your thoughts about anything that you enjoyed in this video. And I surely hope to see you next time. And yeah.